I am very happy to say congratulations to Noora Honkala for the victory in Spartathlon.
Thank you.
It was the 7th time you were running. You have won DNF before, but you are only 32 years old and you have been number 3, number 2, and now number 1. How much does it mean to you to win Spartathlon?
Let's say like 10 years ago, when I ran my first Spartathlon, I was only 22 years old. And I think back then it was Silvia Lupic who won the race. And I was amazed like how strong woman she still is, but back then she was. And I was thinking maybe one day I'm able to win also Spartathlon, but it was like a big dream. I was thinking maybe not, and now it happened, and it was a long road.
Yeah, it's a long road, and that long road is 246 kilometers on a historic ground from Athens to Sparta, and you're from Finland, of course, but you live in Greece now. Is that also why this race is special for you?
But I think that's one of the reasons. And we're going back and forward. Also, Finland is really important to me. I'm still a Finnish girl and I love Finland. But of course, the winter time here in Greece, it's much more better for an endurance athlete. So that's why I'm really happy that I can stay here also. Yeah.
And that's one of the things, because this year was very hot. It's of course often hot in this part of the year in Greece, but how did that affect you, and how did you prepare to cope with the heat?
I mean, it was really brutal, but as I know from every Spartathlon, the weather can be anything. Like last year, I think it was kind of ideal for the runners. Yeah, it was warm but not hot. Now we had, I think, the normal Spartathlon weather. So, like you can see, my face is fully red, even with the sunscreen and everything. I'm burned, and it's brutal.
Yeah, and of course you have a lot of experience, so you know how to run in this kind of climate. But Spartathlon is also special in many other ways. You run a lot on public roads with heavy traffic and so on. Describe a little bit about your fascination for this race. What is it that draw you back to this race and many other runners in the world?
It's kind of adventure. Not in the nature. Like you said, there is a lot of traffic, cars, and sometimes it's a little bit scary. Like this year, we couldn't go through the oil factories, because there was some fire. So we were going a different road. So we went through actually the motorway. We were on the side of the motorway. And it was really special. Like I had my own lane. There was no other runners when I was over there. Only I saw some police officer really far away, and I was thinking, is this the right place to run right now? But that's actually the first part of Spartathlon. There is a lot of traffic, and the heat is coming. And when you reach Corinth, I think it's the game changer over there. After that, you will go through the vineyards, olive fields, but it's a burning hot over there usually. And for me, the most incredible part of the race is when the night comes. I mean, it's something really special. Like for me, it's easier to go to the ultra running mood when the night comes. You have your headlight, and we will go to the mountain and through all these lovely villages. I really love that part of the race.
Yeah, and of course, as an ultra runner, you have to love running alone, even though at the start line there are lots of runners. As you say, much of the course you may run on your own. But how did you make up your strategy this time? You knew that you were in it to win this time. We had last year's winner, Camille Herron, on the start line. We have many other fast runners also on the start line. How did you make up your strategy in order to achieve your dream?
Actually, it's hard to explain, but usually, like before this one, I was really relaxed. I didn't, only thing I was worried that I have everything I need with me. That was the only thing, because there is so many things you have to carry and give advices to your supporters. But I was thinking that I will go with the flow in the beginning, because I knew it will be warmer than last year. So I decided that if I really feel that it's too hot, I will slow down a bit, because I wanted to save myself, when the night comes, so I'm able to maybe pick up the pace and go a little bit faster. But actually, for me, I was going the same pace than last year in the beginning, and the first marathon, and then to Corinth, I think it was at least close to that, maybe a little bit slower. But I knew if I can go on that pace, I will be fine on the middle of the race. And on the end, it's always, you never know. It's something you never know, how you will run the last 80 kilometers. It's a long way to go. And when I reached that point, I noticed that I still have some strength left, but I didn't want to run my legs off. So I was going steady pace, trying to focus to take some energy, because I was feeling a little bit like I want to vomit or something. But yeah, that's the hardest part, to eat enough and drink enough, for me at least.
Yeah, and of course, the last part was brutal. You had some men passing you there, but did you ever feel chased by the other women behind, Carmen and Line, for example?
Yeah, actually, I kept asking my supporters, what is the gap between me and Carmen, the Spanish girl. And I think it was the closest she got was something like 25 minutes or so. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the information I got. And I was a bit worried, because I knew the Spartan motorway, the last 50 kilometers. I'm always feeling so tired, because it's the last uphills. You have to push and push more. You cannot stop. You have to go forward. And this year it was okay. Not nice. I didn't enjoy it. But
at least knew you were going to be the winner, running the first woman up the road to Leonidas.
Yeah, but you cannot be sure, because if the second lady is having some kind of energy burst over there, it's really easy to lose the game. So when I reached the monument, 24 kilometers before Sparta, there's the last uphill and then the 20 kilometers downhill. So on that point, I knew that this day will be mine.
Yeah, and we'll get back to the feeling when you reach the finish line. But you described that the hardest part is to drink enough and to get the energy you need and still making your body take it in a good way so that you don't get any stomach issues or anything like that. Describe a bit your nutrition strategy and also the help that you get from the crew.
So what I really focused on this year to keep myself cool, and also my drinks cool in the beginning, So it was really nice to have on almost every aid station, they have ice over there because we are not allowed to have our own crew. The first point is Megara over marathon, and the next one is Corinth, 8 kilometers. So actually, I'm always focusing on really good support so I can support myself. So I was drinking Tailwind. That's really good. My stomach, I really like that. And actually, I think that was the most important thing on my energy plan was the Tailwind, because this year it was a kind difficult for me to consume the gels and the energy candies. I was, it was so awful. So I tried to eat bananas. Those were the best thing. Also some rice, some baby smoothies, where is oats and bananas inside. So really basic things. And also I'm always carrying sea salt with me. I'm not using the salt sticks or pills. I'm always using the real salt. Of course, it's not so nice to have the salty thing in your mouth, but it works for me just fine.
Yeah, and your crew, I know you had your coach Seppo Leinonen as one of them, and I forgot the name of the other.
My father Jarkko was
Yeah.
there.
Of course, and then Sami Vaskola, who was taking photos mainly and updating social media. Tell a bit about your crew.
So, I asked Seppo after last year's Spartathlon that maybe he would like to join us for this adventure. And he said, of course. And why I chose Seppo, because he is really calm. He has been supporting me in my early years, and he also knows me really well. And I think they made a really good team. Of course, they won't tell me everything. I asked them, did you fight in the car or anything? And because I know, because Sami wasn't supporting, he officially, he cannot touch me during the race. But of course, he was there with his camera. And so I knew that maybe Sami wants to give many advices to them. And it's a really hard job to support an ultra runner. And of course, when you have big goals, you want to give your best. And my father, he's so lovely, but he's always on the first aid station. He's always so nervous, and I gave my bottle to him, and he goes, "Where's the bottle? It's your hand. Fill it up, please, quickly. I want to go." It was really funny.
Yeah, and of course they were as happy as you, seeing you being the first woman running up the street towards Leonidas and kissing the foot as a sign of finishing the race. Describe your feelings when you ran there with the Finnish flag around your shoulders and knowing that I have won Spartathlon.
To be honest, it took me a while to realize what happened. Like, to be honest, it has been always like this. Whatever my placement has been, like, it's the same feeling. Like, you are so humble, so happy that you were able to reach the statue of Leonidas. So actually, I realized that I won the last night when we had the celebration in Sparta, when the city of Sparta, it's amazing what they does for us, like all the mayors and fireworks and music and everything. It's really beautiful. And of course,
because at the finish line, there are not so many people cheering for you. You're coming almost alone there, and just a few people.
So alone, like maybe I knew that Fotis was so much before me. So the people, they came to see him. Of course, he's a great runner and he deserves that. But when I reached Leonidas, there was actually no one.
At least it's good you could be celebrating in the evening and together with all the other runners who had also finished and who wanted to celebrate you, of course, because I mean, Noora Honkala is part of Spartathlon now. You have been there for so many times. And how do you feel in that community of runners? Because it's also something that is special, I understand, with Spartathlon. Lots of runners coming back, running the same race again, and you get to know a lot of people.
Yeah, I really love the people in Spartathlon. I mean, other runners. I have made such good friendships over the years, and it's something I highly appreciate. Really. The other thing is, I really hope in the future that the race organization is making some change for the athletes, because as a professional athlete, it would be right for us to show our sponsors. I mean, not to have a big banners, but like on your shirt and basic things. Because actually this year I was paying for the hotels and everything I never used. The previous years I was paying the kind of Greek fee, because so we have a house here. I don't need the accommodation, the food, the transport, anything of that. But they were still saying, yes, you have to pay this. And this year I paid because I really wanted to have this chance to win the race. But I don't know in the future if I feel comfortable anymore to give money for nothing, because there is no race prize money, I mean.
So, yeah, that's kind of interesting, considering the historical importance of this race and so many prominent ultra runners wanting to win this race. And still, as you say, as a professional ultra runner, you have to pay for yourself and you don't receive any prize money for winning this. Now that a lot is happening, especially in the trail running part of this niche sport that we are doing, there's a lot of prize money coming and attracting more and more people. And as you say, sponsorship is maybe the main income for runners like you. How do you see the way forward? When you're a great runner, you should also be rewarded for it.
Yeah, I agree. Like that's why I'm pretty sure that I will choose Comrades Marathon next year, because there you're actually able to earn some money. And I mean, I don't actually believe that it's possible to get rich when you're doing running as a profession, but that's not the goal. But you have to pay your bills and buy some food, that's for sure. But I have seen that these things have become better and better. Like I'm really happy when I get those invitations. For example, in Italy, I'm always loving to go there, because they are actually providing accommodation, flights, and there is some a small prize money, but there is something like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always about striking the balance, I suppose, so that it's also so that it's also remaining a sport for the masses and for anyone to be able to participate. Still, it is a sport for elite runners who are giving their lives into this sport.
Yeah, but I think the problem is also that back in the days, we have considered ultra running as not a profession or something you should get paid for. Yeah, I truly believe, like you said about trail running, it will also change in road ultra running, and that's the future, because like we can see all the results, and they are coming better and better every year. So that's the only way. if we want to improve them. We need professional athletes as well as the hobby runners. I used to be a hobby runner, and I'm really proud of that. I used to do work from 7 to 4 every day, and plus running, adding to that, and yeah.
Yeah, and of course, one of the greatest stars of the road ultra running these days is Camille Herron. And what happened last week when it broke the news about this Wikipedia controversy sparked a lot of discussion on the internet. How were you affected by that as Camille was running? You met her last year when she was running there as well. How was that affecting you going into this year's Spartathlon?
I mean, I kind of I felt sorry for Camille. Of course, they did something wrong. I'm not saying that it was false media or anything, because they have some truth over that. But I wanted to have a fair play. I mean, I think it's quite ugly if you are having that kind of situation that your competitor is like she was really down before the race. So I wanted to cheer her up, because like she said, running is the happy place, and I really agree that. And I think all the ultra runners can agree. So, but it's difficult. But actually, it's not my place to say anything. And actually, I'm not so much interested that Camille has always been a good friend to me. But yeah, there is some wrongdoing, but it's their problem, and they have to solve it with the persons involved to this, not the others, outsiders.
Of course. So I will not let you talk more about that. I just saw a photo also that Sami was posting during the race as you passed Camille when she dropped off the race, and she was sitting there on the ground, and you kind of gave her a supporting gesture. How did you feel at that time? Because it must have been mixed feelings for you, knowing that, okay, I want to win this race, but as you say, I want it to be fair play. I don't want to win because someone else cannot do what they are capable of. What kind of feelings went through you at that point?
Actually, I was quite shocked when I reached the aid station. I saw Camille laying on the ground, and on the gravel, nothing under her, and on the sunshine. And I was just asking why nobody is helping her. And I went straight to ask her, is she okay? Do you need something? Because she was exhausted. But yeah, I thought that because she's really good runner, that maybe she can actually have a rest and then continue. And actually, I hope that, because, in these races, you need someone who will push you forward. And like what happened last year, it's not happening every year that you have such a good race, that there is such a good level on the female runners. We had that last year. So actually, I hope that Camille would continue, and but it wasn't her day. That happens in ultra running.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that need to be right on that particular day, and for you, this was the day. What does this mean now for your future as a runner?
I think I will be really happy. The records, someone will break them, but the victories you are taking, it's always yours. So I really feel that.
Yeah, it's really good talking to you, and thank you for giving us a bit of insight into the running life of Noora Honkala, this year's winner of Spartathlon. A lot of congratulations to your victory.
Thank you so much.